So yeah, I've done
So you've
almost
done it all.
I've done almost everything at Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club,
So
except playing,
trust me.
which is the most important one, isn't
No,
it?
Mourinho never played. Look at his success. I think a lot of other coaches never played. Look at their success as well. Chatting to Rhulani Mokwena, Mamelodi Sundowns former coach. Again, I still say very difficult to fathom that, to understand that. The team is in pre-season, which ordinarily you would be too.
Yep.
So how and who said to you that, Rhulani, listen, maybe don't come to preseason, because you'd have obviously got into your car preseason, go to Tluarkop and prepare for the season ahead. But there would have had to be an intercepting call to say that's not necessary. How did that happen?
No, look, you know how it works in football. You get a phone call and you have to come into a meeting and discuss where the team is, discuss where the team was. You have to discuss where things went right and celebrate the achievements. But you've also got to discuss the failures and discuss, and those were discussed. And then after, it was decided to mutually separate, and I didn't want to leave. I have to make that clear, that I didn't want to leave. But I think my hand was forced, even though as I said to you, even, or did I say it to you earlier? I think I wanted to say it and I forgot. But there's a lot of things I can't talk about because I've signed a confidentiality clause that prohibits me from speaking about some of the details and things. So I hope you understand and accept that there are things that I cannot disclose because if I do, then I'll get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no, which is fair. I understand that. I mean, people always trying to use the sub judice rule, and although that doesn't apply now in terms of jurisprudence, but it is still there. That conversation, which I'm imagining would have been very difficult. The ink is hardly dried on the contract that you signed for the 4 years. 2027 is supposed to be the time when, you'd have been reviving, either extending or not, and so on. Do you think in the contract that you signed that there would have been a clause somewhere, there would have been expectations somewhere, and you've exceeded and accepted about Champions League, that it didn't happen? There was an expectation there.
Yeah.
If Rhulani had to look and say, if I failed in the past season at Sundowns, where would my failure be?
Yeah, it's a good question. Is it okay to say I don't know? I don't know where my failure is. I think my failure at this moment in time, my failure is towards a player like Ron Williams, for an example, for me personally, because when Ronza was about, and this is why this thing is heavy, because part to how I lead is formulating relationships. Yeah. And I've got players on the phone since yesterday calling me and crying. And it's very, very difficult to hear the people you love crying over the phone. Some of them are sitting with their kids. I hear their kids are crying because the dad is crying. And then they give the phone to the wife. I speak to the wife to try to say, hey, please, just try to calm him down. The wife starts crying because, from Tsitsi, grandson, to Kumo, Mudiba's son, to Lerumo, Teboko's son, to Sifiso, Mshishi's son. Like, I know
The families.
I know the families. I know the wives, the kids. I play with with these players' kids, you know. So
and half of them on holiday in Greece and Mauritius.
It's
all over
incredible.
The place.
So they when they called me, some of them just to say thank you, but also to ask what's happening was very, very difficult, and it's been difficult. But you know how it is, Rob. Coaching is like this, you know, and you've got to be able to take it. You know, you come and you have to win. And I didn't win the Champions League, even though, you know, I'm very proud of what we've done, and I know how difficult that competition is. But of course, if you don't win the Champions League, as the club says, then it's deemed that you didn't meet the objectives, and if I don't meet the objectives, then it's in big clubs you've got to win and stay. That's the truth. You know?
I'll come back to the Champions League thing. I mean, I questioned that even yesterday when we had the show. I know your mind was going towards Rhulani Williams, and if I'm not mistaken, Rhulani Williams would have penned an extension of his contract due to the fact that he was under the impression that you were going to continue coaching at Sundowns.
Yeah. I was actually speaking about Ronza, and that's one of my things that hurts me deeply, and cuts me deeply, because it seems as if I've gone back on my word. And I'm not a person that is like that. And I don't want ever to destroy relationships that mean a lot to me. I mean, even Ronza, I know Ronza's wife. I know Ronza's kids. He's just got a newborn baby girl. I know his son, Trent. I call him Trent because he that's his nickname, and he plays football. And every time he comes into the changing room, he's kicking the ball, and he's such
Arnold.
And he is Alexander, and he criticizes his father like worse than I do. So I love him for that.
All right.
But so I feel
for the honesty,
yeah.
Coach. I'll pick up on that sadness. I've got to go for a break. I've kind of extended it a little bit now. As I said, it's our exclusive chat with Coach Rhulani Mokwena, former coach of Sundowns.